Ruslan.
Jordan Peterson exposes one aspect of one of our largest institutions that seldom gets talked about and keeps a lot of people in bondage. And so recently, Jordan Peterson went on to Dave Ramsey's show. I was a huge fan of Dave Ramsey back in the day, if you didn't know. We followed his baby steps about 10 years ago, got out of $45,000 of debt in 18 months. And we don't follow all of it today, if I'm honest with you, but I still think there's some amazing stuff in the first 3 baby steps. And I want to just set this up for you guys because the beginning of this is actually very valuable. And then halfway through, he's going to get to the point. All right, so check this out.
You've got a lot to say on that subject. So talk about what you've discovered around the correlation between just a mental stability, a mental maturity, mental health maturity, and that how that correlates to wealth.
Mental maturity and wealth.
Presume that the reason people are poor is because they don't have enough money.
The reason people, he says people assume that the reason why people are poor is because they don't have enough money. That's something you kind of hear all the time, right?
But that's an oversimplification. Very few complex things are attributable to a single cause. Certainly one form of poverty and one cause of poverty is absence of a plan. I mean, you need to develop a vision for your life, and that makes delaying gratification, for example, and not engaging in impulsive momentary pleasure worthwhile because you're building towards something that you actually want to attain.
Delaying gratification makes sense when there's something you want to attain, when you're delaying the thing you want to do in the moment. Why? Because you have a bigger vision. You have a bigger idea for what you want to do.
And we're very, very bad at, in our society, like appallingly and miraculously bad at helping people develop a vision. We don't do it with students in school, for example. Not at all. And it's really, like I said, it's a miracle of stupidity. No goal, you have none of that. No vision, no goal. So
we know what the scriptures say, people perish for a lack of vision.
Students went to university with no vision. They have no idea what they were doing there. And so, of course, half of them didn't succeed because they had no idea why they were doing anything.
She talks about students going to university, half of them succeed because they didn't know what they were doing there. So some of the idea vision. But listen to this bombshell he's going to drop here.
Well, that's not helpful or wise. And the reason that's the case, by the way, is because our school system was set up to produce mindless, obedient workers.
This is a sickness of the highest order.
Ooh, here we go. He's going to poke. He's going to poke. Let's pull this back one more time. I'm gonna let Jordan Peterson cook. You guys ready? We got to let Jordan Peterson cook.
And the reason that's the case, by the way, is because our school system was set up to produce mindless, obedient workers.
Our school system was set up to produce mindless, obedient workers. In a time where they don't want you to know the truth, pushing you towards more brainless activities. Don't think for yourself. Don't think about changing the world. Just continue being a cog in the wheel.
Essentially by fascists at the end of the 1800s.
Essentially by fascists at the end of the 1800s? Hello?
And that's well documented historically. It was based on the Prussian military model, and they wanted to produce obedient soldiers.
The entire education system, ladies and gentlemen, according to Jordan Peterson, according to Seth Godin, who has also a TED Talk on this conversation, is based on just creating worker bees, not creating creative people, not developing people's character and mentality to do better, think better, be brighter, be innovative, breakthrough, but just straight robots. That's what we've been indoctrinated in. And then we wonder why so many people struggle to do very basic things. So many people struggle to achieve very rudimentary basic things with all the access we have, all the technology we have, all the opportunity we have. But it's very difficult to undo decades and decades and decades and decades of institutional institutional indoctrination.
We haven't updated our notion of what schools are for 140 years.
Sheesh, man.
Yeah. Ken Coleman says we've not made pathfinders, we've made test takers.
Whoa! Dave Ramsey's getting in on a conspiracy, ladies and gentlemen.
If that, we're not even very good at that.
We're not even good at making test takers. Whether or not the school system needing to create worker bees was an intentional malicious conspiracy or just a byproduct of what needed to happen, the explosion of the Industrial Revolution, I don't know. I don't care. Here's what I do know. If you don't have imagination and you don't have a vision and you don't have a dream, odds are you're already going to be dead in the water when it comes to self-motivation. And what we did is we explored, me and my wife, in terms of what did we want our lives to look like. Meaning this. Before you get into the specifics of how to execute and which things you should do in a specific area, take a step back and go, what one thing can I focus on first? If you need to make a change in your life, what one area do you want to focus on first? Is it finances? Is it health and fitness? Is it community and relationships? Is it vocation and career? Figure out the area you want to focus in. Start in one area first and imagine how your life could look on the other side of it. So for us, we started with finances. We were super poor. We didn't come from families that helped us get into a home or, did any real sort of things for us as kids, pay for our college, nothing like that. So we had a ton of student loan debt and a ton of credit cards and a car note as newlyweds. And so we started with one bullseye. What would our life look like if we didn't have any debt? What would life feel like if we didn't have a bunch of student loan payments, credit card payments, car loan payments? What would life feel like? And we just imagined, what would life feel like? Well, there would probably be a lot less pressure in our marriage, a lot less tension, right? So we started imagining, then we started thinking about, well, I could probably start my own independent music business and pursue that as a career. Because if I don't have as much debt, I don't have to have as much overhead working a Joe job that I don't like. And if we could figure that out, then by the time my wife we have kids, then we could also pivot and go into letting her stay home. If we don't have any debt, she'll be more likely to stay home and raise our kids and homeschool our kids. And if we don't have as much debt, we can give more to our local church. We can support different charities and help people in our lives that have made some bad decisions and need a hand up, right? And so we started just imagining how life would look if we were debt-free. And then we reverse engineered that. And we started to take the steps, specifically the Dave Ramsey baby steps, and we got debt-free first. Getting debt-free allowed us to have more flexibility in our careers. Having more flexibility in our careers allowed us to have more upside with more risk, right? Because now it's like, my life's not going to collapse. If I skip out and mess up, I'll be fine. So that pivot allowed me to then go full-time with my music career, which then allowed me to earn more money, which then allowed me to pivot to YouTube, which then allowed me to have the resources to take my faith, take my fitness more seriously, right? And so I was like, yo, I got the finances figured out. I don't have any debt now. I'm making more money. Now I can invest and buy the types of food I want to buy and get a trainer and get a coach, right? And then I imagined what my life would look like if I was in better shape. How much different would I feel? What would life look like day to day? What confidence would I have if I was in better shape? If I wasn't overweight? If I wasn't 30 pounds overweight, right? 70% of Americans are overweight. 40% or more were obese. If I wasn't overweight, how would things look? So it's like you got to find one area that you want to tackle first and have imagination in that area, and then you want to move on to the next area, right? But a lot of this is just learning to reprogram your brain because we've been so indoctrinated with some of this nonsense. That's not helpful. It's not helpful, and it's not kingdom. And this is what I mean. A lot of this indoctrination creeps into the church creeps into Christians because you just think, well, this is just the way it is. This is who we are supposed to be. We're just going to be terrible, and then you ignore the context in which the scriptures are even written about. When it's talking about folks experiencing persecution, that's under a different system. That's under an oppressive Roman system that was hell-bent on destroying Christians. That's not in our system. I would be very perplexed to believe that the Apostle Paul or the Apostle Peter would wake up in our context and see all these Christians just squandering and burying their talents because they read the scriptures of what they had to go through, not understanding what they had to go through, allowed the world to change so that we may have more freedom and more liberty with our faith, by being more overt with our faith because of the work of Jesus transforming this world and making it better, right? So it's all social engineering to various degrees if you think about it, right? And again, this stuff creeps into the church. Marxism has creeped into the church. Life is a zero-sum game has crept into the church. I hope that we can get better at recognizing these things and addressing these things instead of just assuming this is the way the world is. I'm just forever going to be a worker bee, never going to have any financial freedom, never going to have any freedom in my fitness, never going to have any freedom from the bondage and the addiction, right? If you want to go the extra mile and support us, meaning see more personalities, see more shows get launched, all that kind of stuff, and ultimately keep us answering only to you and staying independent, consider becoming a premium partner for as little as $5 a month. Get the after party replays of these streams completely unedited, access to our podcast, all that good stuff for $5 a month. Keep us independent, answering only to you, and never having to take a brand deal and make goofy commercials like these.
Our friends at Genucel Skincare have exciting news to celebrate in 2023.
Using Manscaped during my showers after workout has given me much more confidence.
And that's where Mudwater comes in.
True Classic has got your back.
All thanks to the sponsor of today's video, SaveMine.com.
Established Titles is your opportunity to earn the title of Laird or Lady. Subject to credit approval, rates range from 7.99% APR to 19.99% APR, included 0.50% auto pay discount.
If you don't want us to make ads with brands you don't care about, sign up for our online community for as little as $5 a month to keep us independent and ultimately answering to you as our boss. You get all sorts of benefits like daily replays of our after party streams, exclusive access to our Discord community, and early access to our podcast interviews, all starting for only $5 a month.
Kingstream Entertainment.
Las Vegas, join me and some of you guys might be familiar with my boy Ruslan KD.
Las Vegas, join me for the Christian Influencers Convention happening July 26th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
We'll be doing a panel with some of the top influencers in the country, as well as a private, intimate meet and greet.
You can get tickets and more information by hitting the Eventbrite link below.
Don't miss this opportunity to come and hang out and spend some time with some of your favorite Christian influencers.
All in the beautiful city of Las Vegas. July 26th, I'll see you over there. Peace.
I'll see you there. What do you mean?
Hey, you may not know I make music, but I have a brand new song that just came out. Here's a quick preview.
In a moment, I gotta overcompensate by building tabernacles. Why the world is rubbernecking Eve, one of the Adam's apple. Whoa there, why you wanna go there? Time to shut the door, cause we letting out all the cold air.
Yo, Double R back, baby. It's not for Rolls Royce, it's for Rap Ruslan. Let's get it.
So hit the link in the description or go to ruslantothemoon.com to stream now. I'll see you over there.
Live by, sunshine.